Howdy ho, neighborinos. Hello, and welcome to the live stream. How are we doing, everybody? Let's have a look and see who we've got here tonight. Just got a blanket on me tonight. It's a little bit cold tonight, you know? A little bit cold, so I thought I'd wrap up nice and warm. We've got Murgood, hello. We have Maverick with his trademark butts. Nico's in, not Moriarty. Marina, and Mr. Gently Benevolent. Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing? Let's quickly go back and see Nico's comments about... sad I missed the proper horror show stream yesterday, but I didn't expect it to start so early. And I was watching you guys talk about Scream 4. Oh, was that on one of our other streams, I'm guessing? My ranking of the movies is 1, 3, 4, 6, 2, and 5, but realistically 2 and 5 swap places regularly. That's interesting. I mean, I would say without a shadow of a doubt, number 1 has to be top of the suit. I mean, it's such a strong film that sets the franchise off. I would probably. It's tricky, you see, because I would probably put it 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6. Yeah. But I mean, to each his own, and all that jazz. As we've got quite a few people in tonight already, I figured we might as well get straight into it. But before we do, if you're new here, which I know you lot ain't, because you're all regulars, which I love you for. But if you're watching this on the replay, and it's your first time, do consider giving this stream a like. Subscribe to the channel for more not true crime, that's my other channel, crime-related gameplay. And yeah, do consider checking out my main channel. Links in the description, where you can find my main channel, where I do main like content over there, true crime related content. Just give you guys a quick update before we begin as well. Actually, I've got the audio recorded, and I'm just doing the finishing touches to the members sort of podcasty type version. So once that will be done, I'm going to get it done after I've completed the stream tonight. So members, Marina, Mr. Gently Benevolent, I'm looking at you guys. You should be getting that in the next few hours. Everybody else, I'm aiming to get that out for next week, and I'm also going to be bringing back the Friday night community quiz as well. So next Friday, 9 p.m. or round about then, unconfirmed time but a confirmed date, we'll be bringing that back as well. So got the gang back. Murgu and Proper Horror Show have confirmed, and I believe Shrouded Hand will also be able to join as well. I need to DM him private, but I did sort of catch him while he was streaming on Twitch. TC Genie's granny outfit. Do you have one giant slipper with the blanket too? No, I have 2 slippers, Mr. Gently Benevolent. But anyway, without further ado, and in probably record time, it's not even 3.5 minutes. Shall we crack on with this? Let's go. Actually, yes. Yeah, let's go. So it's March 22, 2:14 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3.
Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews.
No, Denzel. I need to speak to Denzel separate about it as well. I'm sure he'll be all right though. He's normally available. Bless him. I know he, you know, unless he's got anything else better planned, I don't think he'll say no to that. But yeah, I want to get the old gang back. I definitely want to get the old gang back for it. She's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. Oh, hang on. There we go. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. But Denz is cringe. Yeah, and that's what makes him so great. To be fair, if I can get another guest on as well, obviously it's quite short notice, so I don't know if I will be able to. But if I get him on, another guest on short notice, then Denz will be my co-host, which is what we've been doing the last couple of streams. So, after the ceremony, during the break, huh?
I was asleep like a dog the entire time, dude.
See? She could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your Hakama.
Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her?
Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corridor, even.
But why?
Hey, JFC.
I thought she was buds with Juan.
She has her own agenda.
Her own agenda? What are you talking about, dude?
I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be all right. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today.
Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze. Okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude.
Stop framing AA. Ah. Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impax's missing YouTube naughty word note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impax as her strength and reason to live. When she floated like David Blaine, but then Miss Impax suddenly went to go and buy some milk by herself. It sounded like she left a YouTube naughty word note, and the person thought to have hidden it. Is Juan Corridor the victim of this murder? And that's why I think Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corridor. All to get the YouTube naughty word note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impax. It was Edgeworth. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. Uh-oh. Why would someone kidnap Maya to force Phoenix to defend this guy? I wonder. Qualified would... God, GB. 14-hour shift, JFC. That is mental, mate. Remember, y'all, this Sunday I'll premiere as of this second. Ooh, okay. All right, excellent. Might be live streaming at that time. Might have to snipe ya.
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please.
How long's your video, Marina? Let me know. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corridor's room. I think I do need an assistant, GB. But it'll have... Unfortunately, I'm offering slave wages at the moment. And also, chat, let me know what you're drinking tonight. I have, on my left side, a cup of tea, and on my right side, a lemonade. So I might need to go and do a TCP later. What is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt On Guard.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yes? Sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corridor. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan, but this was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So it was a fry and bait matter. What was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. Uh-oh.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews.
A smooth, edgy, good way to find out if AA is single.
Very well, then.
Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. All right, let's have a look and see what you guys have got. Murgo is rocking a water and coffee. Good lad. Not Moriarty's got himself a Dr. Pepper. Maverick on the Coke. Good stuff. Lovely, lovely. With a shot of lemon. Ooh. I'm not a big fan of lemon, to be fair, but that does sound nice. And a caramel apple cider for Marina Bellotta. Beautiful. Mr. GB with a coffee as well. Mind you, though, it's early morning, so is that a breakfast coffee for yourself, dude? When I found the body. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. You poured yourself a glass of juice? I have a plain old water, but I had my white girl full drink, pumpkin spice coffee earlier today. Ugh. Blah. Blah. Ugh. Yes. Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime, and I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. But to that, I'll say it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Hell yeah. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honour. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Why does everyone have cosy things? I'm just in a pyjama shirt and normal shorts. Well, I'm not wearing a shirt and I'm in sweatpants. Felix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. I'm going off AA. If she drinks tomato juice, mind you, saying that if she drinks that, she'll swallow anything, so I might be back on. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. I do have a blanket. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking, so you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offence is the instant this trial is over. Understand? Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Right, when I found the body. That's interesting. So I take it I'm just going to be doing some pressing then. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. Let's crack on. And what was Mr. On Guard doing at the time? He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his mini-performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. On Guard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes? Excuse me? It? What are you... Right. I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with the subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. On Guard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object, right? Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Just got bodied there by Edgeworth. After that, I went to Juan's room. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture. Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Let's press further, I guess. Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon? What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim. Edgeworth gave Wright a verbal dick kick. Yes. Yes, he did. Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time. Can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got to his room? And there was his dead body. I was in shock. You were in shock? What? Was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corridor. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. Brits on Twitter didn't love jokes about the dead queen. It was a very touchy subject. Although, it's been a year now, and I like the royal family. I'm a royal family appreciator. No, I wasn't always, but I am now. But who doesn't love a good joke or two? I see. Actually, more accurately, Nico, I saw the jokes. I thought they were funny, but just given the atmosphere at the time, it was kind of like not going to engage for now. It was a very emotionally charged situation. You had all the Republic types in this country like, yeah, Queen's dead, get rid of the monarchy, blah. And then you had like pro-monarchists being like, this is a sad time. We should be sad. It's a historical moment for the country. So yeah. Anyone want any McDonald's? I had some this evening, mate. I had a double Whopper. Remove the pickle and put in some bacon. Lovely jubbly. Washed it down with a strawberry milkshake as well. What I saw was naturally the exact same photo as in the crime scene photo. This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Oh, you had one too, Moriarty. Not Moriarty, again. Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest. And the guitar case was like this too? Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then, what did you do next, witness? I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Juice? Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Corridor, you were in great shock, and that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Quarter pounder with cheese. It was double quarter pounder, Nico. 2 of them. So it was a half pounder. Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing. What one thing? Never mind. It's no big deal. What was she starting to say just now? Push. Go. Miss Andrews? I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. Okay, so not Moriarty, when you're not paying attention this Sunday, 3 p.m. EST, or if you're in Britain, 8 p.m. And actually, I've just switched that. It's, 8:30 p.m. And how, sorry, I might have missed your comment, Marina. How long is the video on for? When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Nice trousers. Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? Ah, this mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser. Hold on. Okay, it's literally the same photo. Okay. It was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. So that makes the crime scene a lot cleaner. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over where it fell into the guitar case. But it couldn't have been. We'll press on that. Okay. What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take Juan's pulse, so I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself. That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now. I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the offensive and not let up. The only way you're going to catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence. I have to find something. I just have to. For Maya's sake. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. That... I don't know. Presumably I've got to press something here. Empty, there is some water, but only on the top of the lid. She said it was... Oh, hang on a minute. Go back to the crime photo. Right, okay, that's interesting, because if she saw it like that, why is there only water on the top of the lid? I could probably get away with... Yeah. Alright, let's do it. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct? Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. She said she didn't drink it because I think she felt a bit ill. Because she was in shock. She'd like, whoa. So... that might be a problem, though. That might be a problem later on. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, but she poured it. It's true, it's true. If that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. Yes, here we go. Right, we're on it. Why was it open then? Well, why was it shut? And then why was it opened? That's very true. Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case. It's tomato juice that's reason enough not to drink it, poor AA being bullied by you. And what's that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, they should be in the guitar case. The glass shard should be inside, not outside the case. Ah! What's your point? What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? However, what if it contains something else? Because it's a guitar case. It's a big old thing. You don't just have to put you don't just have to put guitars in it, do you? You could put. You shouldn't. You shouldn't have to. Not Moriarty. I've just seen your post on my super secret Discord. I can post wherever I want, mate. It's my Discord, lad. It's my Discord. If I want to post it in the general, I'll post it in general. All right. Yeah, I know. I should put it in self-promo, but that's for other people to use. Please feel free to use it. Which reminds me, I'll stick another link in later. The empty guitar case. Oh, yeah, we've done a bit. Didn't they say cause of death was blunt trauma? What did they say? I should have the autopsy report. There it is. Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. That was the cause of death. Right. It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? I would say, make her testify. Absolutely. Oh yeah, Nico. Sorry, I did see your post at the beginning of the stream. Yes, I did watch the reveal trailer, and I noticed that the DLCs are included with that one as well. I'm well happy with that. Well happy because that one where you get the where you defend. Let's just say a non-human entity. That was a DLC, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken. The secret Discord I'm not invited to. Thanks, TCG. Gosh. Well, you don't have to be invited to it if you don't want to be. Give me that attitude, Marina. Yeah. No, I'm going to put the link in because, to be fair, I thought because when I put the link in last time, I actually thought you were still here at the time. But there you go. Look, because I'm so nice, because I'm such a good person, right? Let me jump in here now. So I'm just going to go on my phone quickly. New timeout lengths. You can now put people in timeout for different lengths, ranging from 10 seconds to 24 hours. Don't tempt me, YouTube. Don't tempt me. There you go. YouTube telling me that I can tell you off. Just the empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this. But it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. Here we go. All right then. It looks like we're going to have to crack on. All right. I'll follow along. For now. Right. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honour. They sent me that message as well, at the start of your stream a couple of days ago. Ah, okay. That might be because you've got mod powers that you might have seen that pop up. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. Empty. There is some water, but only on top of the lid. Bears Corridor's fingerprint. Oh. Okay. It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. TCG, do you support Brad's wife? Absolutely. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. The case had Juan's hentai in it. Yeah, that's probably what it had. Using anyway to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. My God, Maverick. The guitar case. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. Well, press on that. During your testimony just now, did you remember whose events... do you remember those events clearly on your mind? Well, you see... Are you sure you are the one who opened the guitar case? TCG should hire Brad's wife. She might have a job by now. She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. It had my hentai in it. Juan stole it from... Nico, did you do this? Did you kill Juan Corridor? Sounds like a dependent side is taking over.
Well, Miss Andrews?
Yes, it was me. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And I'm confident that this one... Hang on a minute. I just want to check, see. It's not a big deal, though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case... Do you know what? I think I could press here. Or here. I mean... Yeah, I don't think it matters, really. But she mentions opening the case, but... There you go. But there's no fingerprints. Of course you didn't open it. There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? Well, it's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. Now she's going to say she was wearing gloves at the time. Ah.
What is it, Miss Andrews?
Wait for it. You shouldn't assume that I must have left fingerprints just because I touched the case. Here we go. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Ah.
Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. That's strange. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? Maverick, I was thinking of the old, you mentioned about the wine glass, and I was figured that this would come up at some point. I have your proof right here. This wine glass. Now drink it! Drink it all up. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Ah. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Ah! Oh, we broke her glasses. Oh, and she's got a new pair on. I love how in that wide pan of the courtroom, right? Mia has no face, but very distinct cleavage. Order! 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 Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, no, that's not right either.
I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case.
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. Sounds like my midget in the case theory has merit to it. Shame courts aren't like this. Shame big time. I know, right? However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you are so sure, right, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Ugh. Please, enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well... Okay, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black... So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that it, right? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? When do we save? No, we're probably not the save scum at the moment. Now and then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the oh, okay. Okay. I've got no idea. Oh god, hang on a minute. What if she... oh, hang on a minute. What if she... Right, the only thing I can think of is maybe... I want to show AA's old boss's face. Yeah, but why would he be in the... You wouldn't be able to fit him in the guitar case, though. The costume. Oh my god, of course, yeah. Yeah, it must... Yeah, it must be. This is a photograph. Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor. Oh my god, because On Guard would have been sleeping at the time, presumably, when this picture was taken. Ah, okay. I think I see where we're going with this. In this picture? It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I am proposing is... Inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right? Are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that? Well, that insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? Uh-oh. I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt and Guard's. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? That might also explain, if you look at the picture, why the legs are a lot shorter. Because if you look at the legs in that photo, you see you can't see the feet. But yet you can quite clearly see the tippy toes. So maybe, I think we covered this in the previous on the previous day. But I am pretty sure maybe it was her. Okay, maybe it was actually her. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places. Oh my god, I've just had this thought. You don't think that this confession, because wasn't there supposed to be a confession? On Guard said he didn't know anything about it. Do you think that Corridor had the Nickel Samurai costume, a spare one, because he was going to pose as the real Nickel Samurai and confess either something about the YouTube naughty word of Celeste Impacts, or maybe his relationship with Miss Andrews? Okay, I'm thinking too much. Let's just crack on.
True. That is a little baffling.
Again, like, I've played this game before, but I remember nothing.
Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
Well, it was clearly it must have been a spare costume because On Guard was sleeping at the time. Yeah. Mr. On Guard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one.
What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at Gatewater Hotel?
I framed the victim and got away scot-free. Yes. That is what I'm saying.
And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case?
It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose.
Okay. Right, but why? The victim, Mr. Corridor, was the Jamming Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
Right. And therein lies the sticking point.
What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue?
Huh? No, I just...
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then with gusto, I believe you. Okay. Alright. This is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... Oh my god, right, hold on. What am I thinking? Hang on a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right, remember what I was saying earlier? I think... Right, let's go with the press conference ticket. Let's see how we go with that. Because that mentions about the confession, the so-called confession. And so I think I'm on the right track, you know. Yeah, I should make custom emojis. In fact, what I really should do, is on my memberships, on my main channel, I need to get custom icons for them. I'm thinking, actually, because I've been doing a lot of Phoenix Wright, I should blatantly do some Phoenix Wright, like little badges. Like, start with, like, Maya, and then, like, after, like, 3 months, maybe go up to, like, Larry, 6 months, Miles Edgeworth, and then for people that have been there a year or more, actually have Phoenix. Yeah. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't do Larry. I'll do Gumshoe. It's got to be Gumshoe. On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. Yeah, I'm on the right track.
A press conference?
Yes. I want to be Apollo. Ooh. Yeah, no, we've got to fit Apollo in there somehow. Yes. The Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference.
I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right?
GB wants one of 8A. But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. That's true. Or at least a mummy karma. I'll shall I do a mummy karma from the chest down, yeah? Don't bother about the face.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corridor himself. Yeah, he was the one who was going to do the whole confession thing.
The victim?
Yes. The spare nickel samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Corridor was going to hold the press conference as the nickel samurai.
He was going to dress up as the nickel samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The nickel samurai was going to confess something? And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Corridor, posing as the nickel samurai, was going to speak about Matt on guard.
Yes, I guess that is what would... That is what I... Yes, I guess that is what it would mean.
Clearly this is all a plot by Juan to cross the border. You know, what some of these Mexican Japs get up to. He was going to reveal himself. Way! Just do the zip down from the from the waist area, and then scream out, "I'm Matt on guard! On guard! On guard!" But if that's the case, that's not a confession. That's public disclosure. Huh.
Miss Andrews?
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you say. The press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. He was just going to make it look like Matt has a small peenie. He's like, on guard. Excuse me, but we don't joust with pen knives.
You?
Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway.
He was going to ruin him. Huh.
It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What? What is this? What is this we're hearing about?
And do you know what this secret of Mr. On Guard's is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
Ah, I see.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. On Guard? Why are you trying to protect him?
And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior.
So I'm lost. What's all this got to do with Maya? Nothing. Maya has been kidnapped just so that we would take on Matt On Guard as our client and get him a not guilty verdict. Because apparently you can't just ask for our service. You have to take our assistant hostage. Hey, Slim, how you doing? Just dropped by to say I love you by twatting the like button. Wah! Twat away, Slim, twat away. And guys, if you haven't already, please make sure that you twat the like button too. Yes, Your Honour. I understand. Protecting Matt. Okay. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Okay. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. Oh. Oh. This is concerning. Because normally when we pin it on somebody, i.e. what we're trying to do with Andrews, things sort of start to steer more towards the direction of the person that we're holding to account. I don't know, maybe there's something else, I don't know. He didn't have any sight clocks. Okay. This does account for everything. Yeah, then why wear a costume to make it look like he did it exactly? Well, I am the logical type. Great timing on that dialogue. We're finally seeing her true self. She is more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Oh crap, okay. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. Boy, you turn me inside out. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Damn it, we aren't at Mars being based yet. Is that far away yet? Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things? The fact that you're saying that and you're a lawyer worries me. A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. The 3rd thing is immoral. You should have already known that, Phoenix. Exactly. They didn't teach us that. They didn't teach that to us at school. At least not from what I remember. May I continue now? Fine. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. So would you say this need came from the press conference? Yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt on guard. When Mia possesses Pearl, is Pearl an adult or child? Right, so the way that I understand it is that the channeling will essentially do like a whole metamorphosis thing. So you don't just take on the personality and the thoughts of the spirit, but the spirit will also change the physical appearance of the person channeling, obviously to match their age. But I would err on the side of caution and say still child. So yeah, that's my opinion anyway. But I'm sure there's people, if I tweeted that question out, I'm sure there's people on Twitter that would say, actually, Mia, when she possesses Pearl, becomes an adult, and therefore it's okay to drool, like the geezer from the first Ace Attorney game at the Global Studios, you know, the one who shouted noob and perved over people. Yeah.
But you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Those people are sus as hell, though. I know they are. It's like, she's a child. Like, is a child. Sure, she's metamorphosized into Mia Fey, which, for some reason, she's not on this biography. But, you know, at the end of it, she turns into Pearl, who's 8 years old. I'm not going to say any more on that. Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But I'm sure Mr. On Guard himself didn't know anything about the press conference. Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference? Oh, crap. No. Not Moriarty, apparently. Apparently now she's 8. Oh, definitely then. I love to laugh, and I certainly love, like, really silly humour. Showing again my half-a-second attention span. Anyway, the important thing here is that this information was not in your testimony.
Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, Please correct your testimony, if you agree.
Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove I'm right.
Has Mr. On Guard done something to hurt or betray you personally?
Why do you ask?
You were the one who helped Mr. Corridor with his press conference. And that event was supposed to bring down Mr. On Guard, yet you still helped out.
If Pearl did her exams and Mia popped in during them and filled in the forms, would Pearl get accepted to uni or would it be Mia?
That's a good question.
I would say Pearl would still get accepted. No, in fact, I reckon Pearl would probably get kicked out for cheating. It's like, to get these answers correct, you must not channel the spirits of people who've done this before.
The person on trial right now is Mr. On Guard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill.
Whew, why do I keep doing this to myself? And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder.
But you didn't already testify. But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. On Guard was taking a nap in his room?
I think spirit channeling is pretty odd because there are like multiple souls in a waiting room and they get called in every time they get channeled, or is it just an empty? Yeah, imagine. That's a good question. I think I would think that they're more like floating around, you know, in the ether, and they're sort of getting pulled into that body, which could be quite inconvenient. Because imagine you're having a conversation with somebody, and they're about to tell you something really deep, deep and insightful, and just as they're about to utter those words, shoom, you get sucked into the body of an 8-year-old or an 18-year-old. Are you telling me now that that too was a lie so you could cover for Mr. On Guard? I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at that time.
I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say it's the same for the...
Sorry.
I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however.
The judge is glaring straight at Mia. He's glaring at you, smart guy. Okay. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course. The button and the knife. Oh, okay. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then, what about the button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jamming Ninja's costume. Okay. Interesting.
You're talking about this button, correct?
That button was found in the plates of Matsukama. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony.
That button was torn off of Juan during his fight with Matt. No. That button was torn off of one during his fight with Matt. Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. I think. Okay. Okay. This is the victim. That was just a pure guess, by the way. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by scarf, which meant he would have had to have been behind him. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does that mean?
Oh. Excuse me. Yeah, I figured if there was my thought process was, if there was a struggle, they would have been facing each other. But if it was a scarf, then would have needed to have been behind him. So perhaps it was a surprise attack. But I'm still not sure how the button got stuck, because he would have had to go to the front. I don't know. Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it. After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Oh, that could be it. Exactly. Which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body. Okay. Order. Okay. What is the meaning of this, right? So what if the button was torn off of the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it?
Have a memento of the crime. Pin the crime on guard to destroy. Go with this one. Nice. Right, okay. Save! Yes, my dear. There was only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There was no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right. Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course.
And the real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real murderer?
Right, this is our opportunity, guys. Finally! Oh, I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down. Not yet. Not until the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard is...
It was Pearl. Right, it's got to be come on. Now. Miss Adrian Andrews. Oh, gosh. I choose you. You are Mr. Corridor's killer. Pokemon. Adrian Andrews, I choose you. Pokemon? What? Broke another pair of glasses.
Order! Mr. Wright, this is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room, and the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Tusk. Another pair of glasses broken. But then, what about the button that was found in Matt's Hakama? This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body, or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there is no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Another pair of glasses gone, and another pair of glasses on. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews. I see. What about the empty guitar case? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. Is it? That costume was supposed to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. Very true. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. Ooh, no, But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. Yeah, that's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had heard out about... If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So, to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposefully left the fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed what? She was the classic day's discoverer of a dead body. Rightio, right. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, aren't you? Which states... Okay. Please, stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Ooh. Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room. Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? All right.
That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. There is still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done? What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? Oh dear.
What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbour a wish to murder Mr. Corridor.
Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corridor?
I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There is nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. But surely we'd be able to infer it. No, she's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do? Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid, definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess.
Recess?
I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial...
Tomorrow? No, we can't do tomorrow. We don't have it tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honour. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya, myself.
But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify.
I have learned that you guys all like cats. I had the coolest cat, but the most cool cat. I actually knew has now passed, unfortunately. God bless.
Now, the court is...
Edgeworth, it is not impossible for this trial to continue. Get in.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you...
It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation was something unrelated to the murder, whether she may be guilty of... Whatever she may be guilty of, I mean, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes.
Yes, that is very true, but...
Actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews? When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and? I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. Oh, bit of a James Bond. So my actions were unusual, but I already... Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honour, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whether we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read of him. Is he friend or foe? Just don't know. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you proceed. When I found the body. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. Who'd you pour it for then? I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted over something. So I went to pour him some juice. Oh. Dropping everything, bear with. When I realised that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. So you poured that glass of juice for the victim? Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony? Sorry, Moriarty, I was, just moving about. Okay. I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left. I know. Edgeworth, what in the heck is going on in that brain of yours? Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. All right, here we go. Righto, here we go. Chatteroonies, let's try and sort this out. Save early, save often. Yeah, okay, I'll save it now. Okay. But there wasn't anyone else in the room, right? Of course not. Then who did you pour it for? Mr. Wright, there is a rhyme and reason for everything. Can you wait just a little longer for it to be revealed to you? In other words, Wright, be quiet and listen. Oh, fine. Hey, Burnsy, good evening. How you doing? Precisely. I couldn't have said it better myself. Ugh. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. Oh. So, it was a mess? Are you sure it wasn't messy because of your fight with Mr. Corridor? I love that. That's my favourite animation from Art Edgeworth. When the old hands come up, he starts shaking his head. Oh, right. I understand your frustrations at not being able to prove your theory. However, before you go accusing people of crimes, go find yourself some evidence. I thought I was going to say something else beginning with go. Grr. And then, what did you see next, witness? And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. Wait, what? Slumped over? Yes. He was just sitting there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping. Is it just me, or did that right there sound a little odd? Yeah. Yeah. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. No, that can't be right. Then what did cross your mind? I thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost a Grand Prix, and then felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap. Anyways, that's what I heard, and that's what I thought. I see. So you didn't think he was dead at all. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something. Oh my gosh. So I went to pour him some juice. When I realised that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. Oh, It all comes down to. Right. I think I might know. He was sitting slumped over and tired. When I saw him, I thought that he was dead. Had not crossed my mind. It might be that. Okay. It's got to be this, yeah. How could you not realise? There we go. There we go. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No. No, not at all. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body? Now she's gonna say that she picked him up. Ah! Hey, Mima.
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honour? There is a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Corridor's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that there was a dead man. That's... Well, you see... I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
Your point is?
Oh, excuse me. Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer. No!
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt on guard, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible. You're wrong.
Okay. Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
Mr. Crime, I got a free bread loaf today for being a good customer. What should I do with it? Micro sleep later. I know, man. I know. Micro sleep. I micro sleep well bad. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt. I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan. But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
But yeah, sorry, to go back, what should you do with the bread? Eat it, my friend. What kind of bread is it?
I love me tiger loaves, I do. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
Okay, come on. I refuse to testify. Ooh, sourdough. Nice. Eat it. Eat it.
Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt on guard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Get in!
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. It's a very good point.
Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt on guard.
Oh, come on! Your Honour, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time.
What?
Oh. Excuse me. Right. The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. Ooh, that's very true. She's not speaking, is she? Yeah, something ain't right, Maverick. I'm in two minds, man. I don't think she is the killer. Because this is the old, like, normally they all confess, didn't they? They're normally like, yeah, I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for your pesky meddling, channeling spirits. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth.
The absolute real truth? What are you, witness? Don't you understand yet?
Huh?
I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt on guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party.
That's a lie. I don't believe you.
What?
I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty. What in the world is she talking about? She lost it. I can't speak about it. Too scared.
Oh. It's Francisco von Karma.
Huh?
Don't you remember, Phoenix? Last night? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another, because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. Then, right now, Miss Andrews is... Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Ms. von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt on guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now, and is clinging onto them. Then what should we do? It's the first time I've ever come something across like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get our not guilty. That's my only priority.
It wasn't me. I'm begging you. Please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help. Please.
Okay. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
The court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Right? I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? Right. There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there. Right? Come now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Okay, save it. I'm kind of getting a little bit sleepy now. Right. Right, I tell you what, chat. I'm going to throw this one to you. I'm going to throw this one to... No, not Q&A. Oh. What should we do? Force her? That's not guilty verdict. Can't type. Right, here we go. I'm gonna chuck this one your way. I mean, we can request a not guilty verdict, but if we do, is that gonna cut the game short? Then again, if we say force Andrews to testify, but I don't know if we can force her. Right. 6 votes. Oh, wow, that was quick, guys. That was well quick. Apparently, we're going to force her. Right, okay. I do not approve of forcing women. It's bad juju. Force Andrews to testify, then, I guess. Let's see if we can go for it.
I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around it. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you were really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Sure, Mr. On Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end? But be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me.
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's tested theory is the truth.
You're wrong. Are we wrong? Excellent. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. I'm a tad concerned with how well you do the crying lady voice, TCG. It's all to do with twisting, mate. It's a twisting mechanism. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this, however.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. He knows. Stop.
Mr. Edgeworth?
This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. Ooh. Okay. What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit YouTube naughty word in the past. Hang on. GB, that I wouldn't worry about it, mate. I've had my fill of. Hang on, let me rephrase that. I've populated the Earth now, to a degree that I am satisfied with, and therefore, if they stop working, it is what it is. Stop. Please stop. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. That's the second part of the YouTube Naughty Word report. The attempted YouTube Naughty Word report. What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. Excuse me, right. The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. Oh, is that what the illness is? Please stop, I beg you. If people find out, I'll... If you're going to say you would choose death, that is no concern to me either. Okay. Edgeworth, how can you be so cold? However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. There we go. Was this the bass bit, Nico? So will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. Oh my god, you just had me going. I was just trying to figure out what YouTube naughty word was, because I thought the game was actually specified. Oh, Miles just badgering someone over their F4 attempt, yeah. I'll talk, but please, help me. Help me, Seymour! Make love to me, Randy, please. Nothing matters anymore. Okay, here we go. Right, anyway, here we go. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then, I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished, and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. She wet herself. Didn't she? She wet herself. So she ripped the button off and did the old pokeroonie. Ah, okay. Oh, excellent, Nico. Nice one. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. So, and it was her in it as well. The link should be there, shouldn't it, in the chat? Hold on. All right, hold on. Hold your horses, chat. Hold your horses, chat. Right, come here. Right. There we go. Oh, there might have been enough comments that have it went out. Right, okay, cool. Stop. Hey, Bilbo. Stab the body with the knife? Why would you do that? Yeah, that's my Discord group, mate. It's just a chill one, not a massive one or anything like that, but it's pretty chill. Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly What do you mean by all of this? It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. She's going to blame Officer Meekins, isn't she? She's going for Meekins, chat. She's going for Meekins, chat. The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him, so why are you protecting him then? He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. Last time? Wait. So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corridor, in the chest with a knife. Okay. Okay. I have theory, and that is a game theory. This wasn't YouTube naughty word. This was not YouTube naughty word. I said he couldn't be trusted. Dishonest hair and camp levels. Yes, you were right, GB. Okay. Then I really need to know how he got around the Cyclops. If that's the case, if this is true, then we're in trouble because we're going to lose this then, surely. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime. What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Crap. That's... okay. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. But... oh, okay, right, okay. But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead? Oh, bearing in mind he wouldn't have had the stab wound at the time. Yeah, just a scarf around his neck, so it would look like he was just wearing it. Ah, crap. He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf is a part of the Jammin' Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. What is this plan you had? Oop, didn't mean to do that. I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged pieces of evidence were with a knife and the button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. I'm going ahead of myself here. The plan was that. So AA doesn't drink tomato juice. She poured it for Juan. I was confused for a bit there. No one with wood levels like that would drink tomato juice. This is all making sense again. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, he's having a doze. I'll pour him some tomato juice because Juan Corrida had like loads of red stuff in his fridge and that, didn't he? So, put it down. Oh my god, he's dead! Okay. Do I remember ketchup? Oh, mate, yeah, hell do I, yes. That was so you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Excuse me. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. This isn't... Oh, this is a problem. If I can't find a excuse me, if I can't find a contradiction, what is that going to mean then? What the hell's that going to mean? So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife? Are we going to lose this trial? It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But is it actually a crime to stab a corpse? Yeah. I think it is. Yeah. Defiling a cadaver. I'm sure it must be some sort of adding insult to injury. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. There's always the save game. Yeah, there is always the save game. Interfering with evidence, if nothing else. Yeah, it's true. I mean, she's definitely, she's definitely tampered with a crime scene. Yeah, there you go, Nico. Yeah, definitely tampered with a crime scene. So that in itself is a crime. Desecrating, that's the word I was looking for. Defiling. Desecrating a body, yes. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realised something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. On Guard's Hakama. Teabag, noob, get wrecked. Yeah, whatever. Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But if it wasn't evidence, if you just had a corpse and you do as you do, and you stabbed it, wouldn't that be crime in its own right? Yeah, it would be, I suppose. But this would be one of those things that just piles up one on top of the other. So she'll probably face multiple charges for this, not rather than just the one. So someone kidnapped Maya to force Phoenix to defend Matt and pin it on his secretary with bladder issues. By the sounds of it, yeah. And now it's starting to make sense as to why we're defending this person. If he is actually the killer, because obviously Phoenix really only... Oh, excuse me. Sorry, chap. Yeah, if he's they've kidnapped that, because we're a defense attorney. We're only going to defend the innocent people, surely. I feel like Phoenix is very selective. But things never go that smoothly, do they? Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. Oh. Again. No. I'm sorry, Phoenix. No, please don't apologise to me. We've both taken by surprise. Still, I'm sorry. Right. Do that. An inconvenience? There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. Lotta! I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta. There was also a woman with a grey gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. Old bag. That's old bag. That's old bag for ya. I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once. so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. Now I want to find out if I can buy a cadaver bill, but you probably can, to be honest. You probably can. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. I would say, you heard about the story of that guy who, he had these like really vivid dreams about this woman, this dream woman of his. And then one day he met this woman who was like rich. I think he was a doctor, right? And he gets called to this house, right? And he sees this young woman, beautiful young woman, who's suffering from tuberculosis. Now this was back in the day where tuberculosis was quite a challenging disease. I think like it had like a 50% mortality rate, possibly even higher. And this woman, like, she was under it, right? But she looked like, obviously, you know, warts removed and all that. She looked so much like the woman in this man's dreams. He basically became infatuated with her, and he befriended the family. And then when she died, he paid for a tomb to be erected, so that they could go in and visit her grave, basically. And not Moriarty, he did, yeah. So basically, what happened was he stole the cadaver, took it home, mummified her, did all the embalming and all that stuff, and kept her for years. Years it was. I want to say 5, but I feel like it was even longer. And then he gets caught eventually, and they obviously rebury the body and all that jazz. And I think he not only did he kind of get away with it, because that's right, yeah, so he wouldn't go back. But after he was released from prison, I don't even know if he went to prison, you know. But one thing I do know is at the time he was married, and he was so obsessed with this. He was so obsessed with this woman, he actually left his wife and kids. And like when he was older, he ended up moving back in with his wife and kids. Like, she basically let him back in. It was weird. It's such a weird story. I can't remember the name. If anyone knows the name of it, let me know. But yeah, I remember hearing about that, and I was just like, whoa. I think Mr. Ballin covered it once. Anyway, tangent. You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the awards ceremony. Oh, TCR did that one as well, did he? Alright. So apparently in the US, at least providing it's not Native American, you can own, buy, or sell or do whatever you want with the body. Ew. It was in Florida, yeah. Of course it was. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes. Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
And what is this secret?
That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. TCG, see if you can get a sponsorship by realhumanskull.com. It sounds like a better crossover than Raid Shadow Legends. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I purposefully did not want anyone to know about the costume.
I think we've heard enough. Oh, God. So, after that, you went back to Mr. On Guard's room and planted the button.
Into Matt's Hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
Oh. My word. What does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? These games get me going on some weird tangents. Yeah, you and me both, man. The real criminal is Matt on guard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Francisca, huh? She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. Oh dear.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, because she's hot, we're going to let her go. As long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer.
Wait, Your Honor. The defense still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial.
Oh, shoot.
You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright.
Oh, no, but...
Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately.
That is all. Court is adjourned for today.
Oh, crap. Oh, did you hear those echoes? Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Is this game over? Today's trial. It's over. And I didn't win an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room? That day?
Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying right there next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body? I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? Kidnapper is killer? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I guess not. But it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why. Witness, that card. Give it to me. Hurry. Edgeworth? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is this all about? Never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. Can't accuse her of trying to hide it. At least she's been waving it around constantly. Yeah, it's true. That card. What in the world is it? What does it mean? To be continued. And chat, on that note, that chat concludes tonight's stream. So, what do we think? The plot has certainly thickened. So we've established that Adrian Andrews, aka AA, is not the killer. She is framing Matt on guard, but Murgu has very, very cleverly reminded me that the kidnapper's still out there. So could the kidnapper be the killer? That's probably an option. And given the fact that we had no Cyclops for Matt on guard, I'm thinking maybe. Oh, cheers, Marina. I'm thinking maybe, but I'm not sure. Anyway, guys, thank you ever so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow night. I'm not too sure if it'll be as early as it was. I think we might try and go for like 10 o'clock, maybe. But I'll obviously the times will be confirmed. You'll get the notification. Your name is Subtly the Killer. Yeah, that's true. But obviously you'll get the notifications when I think like within about half an hour before we go live. But yeah, just keep an eye out for the community posts on both my main and this channel. There you go. You can have a line then. There you go. Yeah, and I'll probably have a bit more energy about me as well because it's been a long day today work-wise. But yeah, tomorrow's Saturday, so be a bit more chill. Yeah. But guys, thank you ever so much for tuning in tonight. I do appreciate it. And if you're enjoying the series, you can consider tipping me on the Streamlabs link, which is pinned in at the top of here, and it's also in the description as well. There's no obligation, but you know it is massively appreciated. And yeah, don't forget, I'm gonna be to be fair, I'm actually quite knackered, so I'll probably finish off that video tomorrow morning and then get it out for you guys, members, Marina, Mr. GB. You should get that. It'll be in the it'll be in the next few hours, but I'm gonna go and have some sleep, I think, because micro sleeping, I was doing that quite badly tonight. So yeah, thank you ever so much for tuning in, and if you got this far on the replay as well, guys, I do appreciate it. Don't forget to twat that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and until next time, take care and goodbye for now.